Right guys, as the video title suggests, I'm going to share my best settings for Starfield on a GTX 1650 mobile. So I don't think I need to mention the fact that this is quite a heavy game. It's not optimized that well. Add to the fact that the GTX 1650 mobile isn't officially supported. Yeah, we have to do a couple of extra optimizations to get things to work. That being said, it is still playable and you can still get a good playing experience out of Starfield. So straight off the bat, I'm using this area specifically just because I think it is quite CPU intensive. Oh, just bear in mind I am using GeForce Experience, so typically I'm not using any FPS, but because I am recording this, I'm using 1 or 2 FPS, so that's why it's dipping below 30 every now and then. But first and foremost, what I highly recommend that you do is that you use River Tuner statistics to cap Starfield to 30 FPS. So what you're going to find is when you're out on a planet and you're just running around on a planet, your FPS is probably going to go up into the 40s, maybe even the 50s. And then when you go into a base, you'll probably find that your FPS will go up from 50 to 60 on the settings that I'm showing you now. But when you're in a combat situation or when you're running around like this area over here, you'll notice that your FPS is not going to go much above 30. So let me just show my settings quickly. So the settings I'm using is display. Obviously I put it on the low custom or on the low settings preset, but then I put reflections on medium, and then I put ambient occlusion on medium as well, because I'm a sucker for ambient occlusion. One important thing is film grain intensity. It is on 1.00. just drag that down because that is going to steal some of your performance. Sharpening I put on 80%, and then render resolution scale by default on low, it's on 50, but it looks very grainy. And then I put it on 60. Anything above 60 or FPS is going to be below 30s in these CPU intensive areas. So just go through that again. Render resolution scale 60%. I put the graphics preset on low, but then I changed reflections to medium, GTAO or ambient occlusion to medium, sharpening on 80%, and then completely remove film grain intensity. So then what you'll see is 30 FPS is not preferable, but it is playable. And considering that RTX 3060 is struggling on this game, RTX 4060 is struggling on this game, graphics cards that should be running this game well are not. And look, the game's not terribly ugly, but it's not all that impressive looking. So the fact that it is running so poorly is a little bit concerning. But for those of you that were really looking forward to this game, you can still get a very good gaming experience, and it doesn't look absolutely atrocious at these settings. In fact, I'd actually venture to say, all things considered, seeing that a GTX 1070 Ti mobile is the minimum requirements, this game actually runs pretty well on a GTX 1650 laptop. So just bear in mind that a GTX 1650 laptop, it's got 4 gigs of VRAM, it's not the fastest VRAM, and typically it is paired with a dinky quad-core CPU. So I think anybody with a 6-core processor and up is probably going to be able to set the FPS a little bit higher. But for a quad-core CPU with a 4 gig GPU, which is completely under-spec for this game, it actually is not running too badly, and it doesn't look absolutely horrible. So guys, just to go over my settings again, put the dynamic resolution, render resolution I put on 60. Anything above 60%, you're going to dip below 30 FPS. Then I put the graphics preset on low, reflections I put on medium, ambient occlusion I put on medium, and then sharpening I use 80%, and then I switch off film grain intensity because it's just gonna, it does nothing for the game. In fact, it makes it look a little bit ugly and it actually steals performance. So if anybody does need me to show how to set Starfield to 30 FPS with river tuner statistics, please hit me up in the comment section. But I think everybody knows how to use river tuner. I do recommend just capping this game to 30 because it is playable and it's not horrible. But anyways guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to smash that like button. If you have any questions, please hit me up in the comment section. And guys, for those of you that are still watching and you find this content helpful, please consider subscribing. Now's the time to do so. Other than that guys, it's Sunday. Have a good night. Enjoy the game. Cheers.